Hi everybody, well let's get straight to it, shall we? About 3 months ago, our washing machine, which we'd had for 23 years, decided to give up the ghost. I'd done a few repairs on it, tried to keep it going, but sadly it was not meant to be and we had to get rid of it, and then we were in the market for a new washing machine. So we scoured the internet, had a look at a few reviews, and it's just myself, my wife, and I've got 2 German Shepherds which are just here. So we've got no kiddywinks, so we're a small family, shall we say. So we narrowed it down to a Bosch, having looked at some of the reviews online, and so we specifically went for their entry-level machine, which was this Serie 2. It goes 2468 I believe, and the recommended retail price of this one, the Series 2, spinning at 1400 RPM, is $469, but I'm sure you can get it cheaper online or at other department stores, and you can pay up to £1,200 for a washing machine. Well, we certainly weren't going to pay that because we didn't need all the Wi-Fi and smart functions that some of these washing machines have got. So just right off the bat then, it comes initially with a 12-month guarantee, but if you phone the number up here on the label or go on the internet, and I'll put the details down below in the description box. If you just go online, you can extend that to 2 years free of charge. But we then went and added in our basket on the Bosch website an extra 3 years warranty, which cost us £89. So for £89 we've now got 5 years warranty through Bosch on this Series 2 washing machine. We didn't want anything complicated with smart functionality or anything like that. We just wanted a washing machine. We could chuck the washing in there, press the go button, walk away, and it would do the washing, and it would do it properly. So, and this after 3.5 months, it's a definite double thumbs up from us. It's a very, very good machine. So the 4 main points that Bosch sort of put forward for it: it uses their eco silence drive, so the actual motor when it's running, it's a very quiet machine. It's got acoustic paneling on the side, again helping the vibration of the machine, which is very minimal, and that reduces the sound being emitted, just like a loudspeaker I suppose, from the machine. So there's a very quiet machine. It has a button called Speed Perfect, so if you're in a little bit of a hurry you can press that button and it'll reduce some of the programs, the washing time, by up to 65%, depending on what program you've put it on. It's got a reload function. If you put your washing in there, close the door, press the go button, starts to wash, and then if you find that sock on the stairs, like it happens all the time, doesn't it? Find the sock on the stairs, you can press the stop go button, and then it will just lower the water level to a sufficient level to then unlock the door mechanism. You hear a clunk, and then you can open the door, put your sock in, close the door, and then press the go button, and then it will start again. So that is a good function from Bosch. So all in all, in the 3.5 to 4 months that we've had the machine, we are super impressed with it. So I'm going to give it straight off the bat a 9 out of 10. There's a couple of things which could be done better, but it is an entry-level machine. But yeah, I'm going to give it a solid 9 out of 10. The second half of the video, I just put some bed linen in the machine. So I think without further ado, what we'll do is just go through the control panel, because it's not very complicated, even I can operate it. So we'll just go through the control panel, show you some of the features, and I'll give you the good points and maybe the not so good points which you should be aware of. So let's crack on, shall we? So here's the machine, very simple. You have your soap dispenser drawer, which is very easy to take out. We don't use it, we use the liquid that you put in a capsule and then pop it into the machine. But if you need to take this out for washing, you can do. So the machine is super easy to operate. If I can operate it, then you can operate it. So we have the control dial here, and it's very simple. You just move it to the left or to the right, depending on what program you want. Obviously 40 degrees, you'd use that for towels and bed linen, just to get rid of and kill the bacteria. But we tend to use a family of 2. We tend to use the 30 degree most of the time. So it has a spin and drain function, which will take you 13 minutes. And then if you want to put it onto the rinse program, which is here, it will take you 22 minutes. And then you can see on the display panel for that wash, it's going to take 2 hours and 29 minutes. And because the door is open, it will tell us the maximum recommended load of 4 kilos. If the door is closed, then that weight won't come on. It will just sit there at 2 hours and 29 minutes. So what you can do then, if you want to reduce that, and it will only allow you to do it on certain programs, if you press the Speed Perfect button, you see the little sign here. It's like a little clock with some speed lines coming out behind it. So that will reduce it by quite a while actually. That will take it down to 48 minutes. So basically what happens is, because it's an efficient machine, if you go for the non-speed perfect option, that takes 2 hours and 29 minutes. So basically what it's doing is the wash is just sitting in the water and just stewing in its own juices, for want of a better word. The minute you press the speed perfect button, it just means that the motors are going to be working more, so it's going to cost you more. How much, I have no idea, but the end result is still the same. You're going to get the same wash, but because the motor is now turning and doing more work, then that will reduce the speed of the wash down to this time here, displayed with the speed perfect sign. So you have two options. You can either go for a fast wash, should we call it, with the speed perfect button, which will reduce it potentially up to 65%, which means the motor is doing more work, or you can just go for, if you've got time and you're not worried, you can just let the washing sit in its own juices, shall we say, and the motor won't be doing as much work because the washing is sitting in its own juices, and then that will take 2 hours and 29 minutes. But the result is the same. You're still going to get a nice clean wash, so that's thumbs up from me. So that's the speed perfect function. You've got little kiddie winks around and they're into pressing things, you know, that kind of stuff, where you can press two buttons together here with a little key, 3 seconds, press them together. It will have a timer function will come up. There you go, 3, 2, 1. And then that means with the key here now that all the panels and the dial are now locked, and it'll make a buzzing noise, and the key will flash which says, little fingers, go away, you can't touch it. So that's a really good function. If you want to then switch that function off, you again press those two buttons together, count down and release, and then the key will disappear. So little fingers can go and touch the control panels, etc. So that's very good. And it's also got what they call a finishing function. So if you want the washing to finish in, let's say 3 hours from now, so you can press that, and there we go, 3 hours from now it will finish. So that's a good function. I think it gives you 24 hours. It will go all the way up to 24 hours. And yeah, so you can say finish in 24 hours. So there we go, back to 2 hours and 29 minutes. So basically that is everything shown on the control dial and the display dial as well. So yeah, that's really all the main functions in reality. You also have a filter down here, so if you've got any coins and stuff that get trapped in the washing machine, then you can just come down here, put a little tray underneath here because a little bit of water will come out, and just take that out and then just remove the offending item in the filter. So yeah, once you put all your washing in, open the door. Oh, the good thing about the door is that you've got the main glass plug, shall we say, which fits in there, stops all the water come out with the seal obviously, and you've also got a window on the front there, so you've got a good 4 inches of gap there. So if you've got any kiddie winks, if they touch that even on a hot wash, I very much doubt they're going to even feel any kind of heat from there. So that's a nice safety feature. And you've got a nice wide porthole as well to chuck your stuff in. And so once you put all the stuff in there, and you can press the start go button, and then that's basically it. So I've jumped on the review sites and had a look to see what people are saying. So the good points are there's people saying it's quiet, very straightforward to use, which I would concur with, and the clothes come out very dry. And what's the other one? It's a good choice for smaller families, so I would concur with that as well. It's just me, the wife, 2 German Shepherd dogs, and so yeah, maybe this machine for a small family. So they would be the main points. And I would also add that you're getting a quality brand from Bosch, that good German manufacturer, so that would be a thumbs up from me. The not so good points that people make reference to: no quick wash. Well, yeah, there is no quick wash on here, but you can go to Easy Care 30, press the speed perfect button, and that takes it from 2 hours 29, and that will take it down to 48 minutes, which isn't too long to wait, is it, to refresh a garment which is lightly soiled. So that would be one of the points there. No cold wash. So yeah, there is no dedicated cold wash, but again, 30 degrees, that's not too hot, is it? So I think anything below 30 degrees maybe is classed as a cold wash, or is it 20 degrees? I can't remember. So the drainage hose, some people have said is a little bit too short. So the drainage hose, yeah, I would go along with that. Actually, I had to go to B&Q and get an extension hose to connect it to my outlet under the sink. So yeah, I had to go and get a hose to extend that. But the actual cold water feed. There's only the cold water feed at the back of the machine, and that was fine, so I didn't have to get any extension cable for that. But Bosch do, under the accessories section, they do an extra cable, an extra hose for the drainage, and then I think they do an extra long cold water feed as well. So there is Bosch do have that covered actually, but I just went to B&Q for the drainage hose. What else is there? Pre-wash. Yeah, somebody said there's no pre-wash, but there is a pre-wash 40 degrees on here, so I'm not sure what they're talking about there. Other comments people have made are in relation to the push buttons here and the go button, shall we call it. They say over a period of time, because the wording has been sprayed on, painted on or whatever, then the finish can wear over a period of time. So with that in mind, I've just put some 3M, basically it's a protective tape that people put on their push bikes, frame protector tape, and I've just put a little bit on here, and I'm going to do the same for these 3 buttons here, so I don't get any wear over 23 years hopefully that we'll have this machine for. So yeah, that's just another potential issue that some people have highlighted, shall we say. But I've got to say folks, all in all, I am more than happy with the machine. So I think what we'll do now is let's put some bed linen in here. This should normally be washed at minimum of 40 degrees centigrade just to kill any bacteria, etc. And my preferred choice of detergent is the Ariel gel. So there's the Ariel gel. I'm just going to pop that in there. Just going to turn the dial down to 40 degrees, and it says 2 hours and 29 minutes. As we mentioned before, if you open the door or the door's open, it will actually tell you what's the maximum weight you can use. So here it's saying 4 kilograms. So I'm well within that weight, if indeed you're bothered about that. So 40 degrees C is the wash I'm going to use. And then I'm going to just say, look, we don't want to use 2 hours 29 minutes. We're just going to use the Speed Perfect button. So if you press that, it tells us that we'll drop it down to now 48 minutes, which is good. And the spin speed, strict instructions by the wife to use maximum speed. So we're going to use 1200. So that's the maximum the machine will let me use, is 1200 on that setting. And then we're going to press the go button. And away we go, as simple as. And then we'll come back to the machine. I'll just show you how quiet it is. So the door symbol is shown as being locked on here. So if I've forgotten something, a sock or something, what I can do is press the start reload. So it will beep. And then as the machine's not had enough water in it, it will say you're okay to open the door. The padlock sign will go off on the door, and then I can simply open it, put the loose sock or whatever in there. There we go, press, close the door, and then press the go button again. And then the door closed and the padlock sign will come up on here, and then the machine will start again, as you can hear. Good job. There's the microphone, and as you can hear, it is a very quiet machine. And that knocking sound is the Ariel gel dispenser that I've put inside the machine. That's all that is. So now that the machine is doing its thing, just point out a couple of things to you on the control panel. Just here, the door is now closed and locked, and then saying obviously you've got 44 minutes to run. The washing basket with some foamy stuff coming up from the top, that's obviously telling me that it's on the washing cycle. And then finally the little clock here with some speed marks behind it, that obviously tells me that we've pressed the Speed Perfect button, hence reducing the wash time. Right, let's let it crack on, shall we? So we're just back at the machine now, still nice and quiet, and if we look at the control panel, we'll just see here we've got 18 minutes to go, and the symbol on the top here has changed, so it's just saying it's on the rinse cycle at the moment. And as you can still hear, or maybe not hear, it is a very quiet and not a noisy machine either. So we've now got 1 minute to run, and it's on its final spin cycle. Very little vibration. In fact, yeah, tiny little bit of movement, but nothing to be unduly concerned about. And there we go, 1200 revs, and that is very quiet in my opinion, with very little vibration on the machine. Our old one used to make so much noise, it was yeah, it felt like the house was gonna collapse. So there we go, flat out now. It's not very loud, is it? And there we go, the washing has finished. That clunk means the door lock has now been released. not bone dry, but it's pretty dry. So I hope you enjoyed that. That was 48 minutes on 40 degrees with our bed linen. I'm just going to go hang it up outside. So yeah. So finally, in any conclusion, I'm going to give this a massive thumbs up and a 9 out of 10 from myself for this Bosch Serie 2 washing machine. It's very quiet, it washes very well, and it's a good looking machine. And yeah, we really like it. For me, the wife, and our 2 German Shepherd dogs. I would say it's recommended for small families, etc., with a 7 kilo maximum load. You can't put it in a kitchen with an integrated door because it hasn't got the integrated door facility, but it is a good looking machine. And I think if you're doing this open plan living with the quietness of the machine, it wouldn't be a problem. It's just sat there under the worktop on display, and it is very quiet when it's running, so I don't think you'd have any problems. It's a great machine. Big thumbs up for me. Take care. See you again soon in the next video. Hope it's been of use. Bye.